The Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, the 16th chapter. Jesus said, "There was a rich man who was dressed in purple and fine linen, and who feasted sumptuously every day. At his gate lay a poor man named Lazarus, covered with sores, who longed to satisfy his hunger with what fell from the rich man's table. Even the dogs would come and lick his sores. The poor man died and was carried away by the angels to be with Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried. In Hades, where he was being tormented, he looked up and saw Father Abraham far away with Lazarus by his side. He called out, 'Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water to cool my tongue, for I am in agony here in these flames.' But Abraham said, 'Child, remember that during your lifetime you received your good things, and Lazarus in like manner evil things. But now he is comfortable here, and you are in agony. Besides all this, between you and us is a great chasm that has been fixed, so that those who might want to pass from here to you cannot do so, and no one can cross from there to us.' So then the rich man said, 'Then, Father Abraham, I beg you to send Lazarus to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, that he may warn them, so that they will not also come into this place of torment.' Abraham replied, 'They have Moses and the prophets. They should listen to them.' But the rich man said, 'No, Father Abraham, but if someone goes to them from the dead, they will repent.' And Abraham said to the rich man, 'If they do not listen to Moses and the prophets, neither will they be convinced, even if someone rises from the dead.'" The Gospel of the Lord. J.C. Watts once said, "Everyone tries to define this thing called character. It's not hard. Character is doing what's right when nobody's looking." The rich man in today's parable didn't think anybody was looking when he stepped over the poor guy hanging around his front stoop as he strolled past him in his satin robe to pick up the morning paper laying on his designer brick driveway. He didn't think anybody was looking when he swore under his breath because he had to swerve around the unfortunate man in order to avoid hitting him with his 4-wheeled chariot. He didn't think anybody was looking when he shooed the fellow away because he was having some of his hoity-toity friends over for another one of his opulent dinner parties. He hoped his alderman was listening when he complained that there was a bum living on his doorstep, but he hoped that his friends at the synagogue didn't know that his once fashionable neighborhood was going to the dogs. He may have loved his wife, been kind to his kids, and even made sure that he made appearances at all the right charity events, hoping to get his name and maybe even his picture in one of those trendy social magazines. But when the opportunity came to be kind or even interested landed on his doorstep, he kicked it to the curb. He didn't think that anybody was looking when someone who needed his help came his way. And when they did, he simply turned his back. J.C. Watts was right. Everyone tries to define this thing called character. It's not hard. Character is doing the right thing when no one is looking. Another J.C. told a story that ought to send shivers down the spine of every one of us who can afford to live where we live and do the things that we do and still think that we can act however we please to those God places in front of our faces and calls us to do mission to. Jesus does not give us a morality play in which things work out in a tidy way. He's up to something very important. In today's parable, says Father Mark Harris, the director of the Global Mission Network for the Episcopal Church, what we have is the making of a tragedy. It's a tragedy because Luke's parable purposely doesn't give us the kind of data we would like to have about Lazarus before we decide to help. We don't know, for example, if Lazarus was well-deserving or lazy. It doesn't say if he was drug-addicted, mentally ill, or just a good Joe down on his luck. We don't know whether he cornered the rich man every day with one of those pathetic spiels that we have all become so accustomed to every time we go downtown or have to stop at the bottom of an expressway ramp, or whether he just lay there every day, annoyingly mute. All we know is that he was at the gate, sick and hungry. And that, Luke says, is all we need to know. We also don't know if the rich man was a cold man with habitually averted eyes who never saw the beggar at all, or whether he did notice and offered up a prayer for the sorry case, but stuck to his policy of never giving anything away. We know only that he was rich, dressed well, ate sumptuously, and that, Luke seems to say, is all we need to know.